You know, I once heard one definition of a gentleman as a guy who can play the banjo, but doesn't. I don't know what that makes me. But you know, when I lived down in New Orleans, I worked pretty hard on, I studied Albert King's method. It was kind of confusing because, you know, for the longest time I felt like I couldn't play with a pick or without a pick. Fast forward about 5 years, and I'm doing a show with Albert up in Marin County with my partner Jan. And I felt like it was probably Judgment Day. You know, I was a little nervous, but turned out Albert was really fine with my guitar playing, I guess, and he liked our songs. He was a little less impressed with our offstage habits. I was probably in my Pall Mall phase then, and, you know, he saw me, took me, he said, you know, if you continue to do that, you're going to do serious harm to yourself. And Jan, who hardly ever drank anything except she had this big thermos of hot tea with lemon and cayenne and stuff that she used to carry around backstage. She'd sip that, but I guess on this night she had a drink and said, yo, you're the singer, you're gonna do serious harm to your voice with that. Get over here, sit down, let me talk to you. Proceeded to lecture us on the evils of the blues lifestyle. And you know, when he was done, he fired up that pipe, filled the whole dressing room with a big cloud, took a Heineken, threw it, the whole thing down, turned around and said, all right, boys, let's play. They were halfway through the first song before I realized his drummer's still sitting next to me, and I said, hey man, what happened? What's going on? He goes, oh, Albert fired me on the break. Well, Albert had it in for drummers. I knew this. I don't think I ever saw him once where he didn't, at some point during the night, go over, either yell at the drummer, take the kick drum mic, throw it at the sound man. Didn't matter. I always did something like that. This amused me because it sort of reminded me of my own dad, you know. I mean, my dad would come and see me, not often, but every time he did, it didn't matter if I was with a rock and roll band or a blues band or whatever. Whatever he saw, it was always the same thing. He would always say, you know, I really like the music, but why do the drums have to be so loud? I said, well, you know, they mic them up, they mic them all up. That's what they do. He said, well, why do they do that? They're already too loud. But probably my dad would have preferred a drum like this. Maybe Albert too. You know, the band, you might be asking yourself now, Doug, why you got a banjo? You're talking about the blues. Well, you know, the banjo is a misunderstood and maligned instrument, I think, for a long time, you know. Even though, you know, yes, we think of it as the weapon of choice for the holler. Truth is, you know, despite that we know it that way, the banjo is not from Appalachia. Banjo's from Africa. And there's a lot to suggest that, you know, the very earliest bluesmen might well have accompanied themselves on the banjo, not the guitar. The earliest version of the Creole banjo, you know, it got got going in Jamaica, in Suriname, in Haiti. Then, like just about every other American music style that we know today, was taught by blacks to whites. It was an era before radio, before radio playlists, before records, before record companies, and you know, guys would just get together and play music together. They'd play whatever they had. Pick up the fiddle. There's black, white, Creole people. Pick up the fiddle. Pick up a guitar. Pick up a banjo. Pick up a harmonica. Well, you know, all these instruments came from different places. In America, it's where they came together. So, you know, signature Albert King tune, why not play it on the banjo? Born under a bad sign. I've been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. Well, wine and women is all I crave. Big leg one, carry me to an early grave. Born under a bad sign. I've been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. Yeah, I'm a bad luck child. You know, lately I started to wonder. For a long time, people believed in signs. Maybe what we're going through now, maybe this is a sign. Could be. You know, Albert King was a master of musical economy. And he had a phrase, I heard him use it several times, you know, he would use it with players that he thought maybe were, you know, playing more notes than was musically necessary. He'd say, that guy gotta back up and get a hold of himself. Yeah, maybe this is a sign. Maybe we could all take the advice of a master, you know. Maybe this is a good time for everybody. Some of these people to back up and get a hold of themselves. Maybe it's a sign we should just all keep wearing our masks too, you know. We're not out of this yet. And how hard is it to wear a mask, really? You know, I mean, I'll tell you, it's easier than learning how to play this thing. And you know, I'm sure it's easier than listening to me play it, so. Oh yeah, one more thing. You know, my old pal Steve Boyson, who left us a couple of years ago. This is for fans of Albert King, and you all should be, whether you are or not. And I think that this is the best interview I've ever heard, what he did for a Musician magazine. So I transcribed it. I had the original cassette. Put it up on YouTube. Steve Boyson interviews Albert King. You can find it up there, and it's great. So that's it for now.